Billy, you're 7-time All-Star, over 400 saves. What are you most proud of your career?
Longevity. I mean, 16 years. A lot of good things have to happen. You have to stay healthy, and you have to be pretty good and be on good teams. And I was blessed with both.
I think a lot of people would love to know, how does a natural right-hander end up throwing 100 miles an hour with his left hand?
Well, I mean, for anybody who doesn't believe in God, I mean, I'm the epitome of a blessing. And I think it's just one of those things that just a glory to God that I was given that ability. I don't know how I did it. I mean, it's too young to know it.
Yeah. D3 pitcher, rural Virginia, tough upbringing, and you become a first-round pick and one of the best relievers ever. Do you ever think about, how in the heck did this happen?
Well, you know what? I really haven't looked at it like that. I mean, I've just took it as a blessing and tried to play it forward and stuff. But I mean, once again, I've been around people that have made me look really good, and so being around that is, that has its benefits.
Yeah, there are going to be a lot of young men and women here. What would you tell them about overcoming obstacles and believing in yourself that you can make it?
Well, I think the biggest thing is to understand that no is just a stepping stone for the next door to open. If you're not if somebody hasn't told you no, then you haven't done it enough. We've all who've reached the pinnacles have had our, had that no said to us. We've had some harsh things said, but knowing that those are the stepping stones that you got to use to motivate yourself, and there's really no excuses for you not to work.
Toughest hitter you ever faced?
Well,
or two or three, if you can't narrow it down.
I know the guy who I could never get out was Miguel Olivo, but you can't take away Barry Bonds. I mean, greatest player I've ever played against. Juan Pierre, guys like that. I mean, there was a lot of guys that were very, very tough. My numbers may look good, but I'm pretty sure they squared up quite a few balls at people. So, they were very good.
Your last year in Atlanta was one of the best of your career. How tough was it, or maybe not, to walk away from the game?
Well, I'd already told Bobby that I was stepping away before the season started, and I just, whatever happened. But once again, you can't see in the future and know how you're going to do. So, I didn't want to say I was going to retire at the end. I was just, it was time, and I was just blessed to have a great year. And I mean, I'll be honest with you, it's just what I'd done my whole career, so I wasn't surprised. It's just, I wanted to get back and be with my family and my kids and be a dad, and that's the road I took.
Do you have a favorite baseball movie? A lot of good ones
Love
out
of the
there.
Love of the Game. I mean, Costner's just huge. I mean, by far and away. I mean, there's so many things that I think about when I think about that movie and throwing a no-hitter at Yankee Stadium. But I mean, Bull Durham. I think that's one of the classics.
Major League?
Major League was something I grew up in high school because I was very wild. So Ricky Vaughn was mentioned with my name quite often in high school. So just about everyone, 8 Men Out, The Natural. There's so many of those movies that, when they're on, I stop and watch.
Last question. Major League Baseball is trying to speed up the game, new rules, pitch clock, keeping guys in the box. What do you think about the state of baseball right now?
Well, I mean, it's always evolving. I like this pace of the game. I don't mind the clock. I don't think any of the young players are minding that. I think it's something that the older players have to evolve into because we're just not used to it. But, excuse me, I think that they do realize that playing a 2-hour and 45-minute game is way better than 3 hours and a half. And I like it. I like going and watch a game. My son plays in the minor leagues now, and it's fun to go to a game and not sit there for 5 hours because a guy can't throw strikes. I like the fact that a reliever has to face 3 guys. I think that, there is some strategy. The probably thing that I don't like being a purist is that there's a DH now in the National League. I like the whole strategizing and bunting being more a part of the game. But I like that I like that there is more strikes being called. I also like that there's more speed in the game. Base stealing's coming back. So, I think there's a lot of good things that are still in the game and some that are being brought back.
Yeah, and then finally, what would it mean to get voted into the Hall of Fame?
Well, I mean, that's the pinnacle, right? I mean, I tell you, when you play 16 years and you're able to be listed on a ballot with all the great players that are on that ballot, to get to that point and be close, I mean, and to put it into more perspective, to look back and see who are all behind you, all the Hall of Famers that are there. I mean, it's one of the greatest moments in a player's life.
Well, best of luck to you, and thanks for your time.
Thank you. I appreciate that.